Alright, so I've missed a lot of time since the motherboard in my computer wanted nothing to do with this plane of reality anymore. I know I've said I'm late in the past, but this time we're giga late. So here's my long overdue video talking about some of the updates in Duel Links. I'm gonna be streaming Master Duel later today, don't you worry, you crazy cats. So first, I want to apologize for saying Raid Raptors will come to the game first and Phantom Knights will be well after that, but I was wrong. Yeah, I pulled the pizza flip and it landed pepperoni side down, a switcheroo from Konami to punish me for all my Tretch slander. Yuto hit the scene, baby, backed up by, well, my least favorite kind of event in character farming genre. Basically, duel this kid 100 times and then we'll give you gems in this shiny icon. I ain't about it. But he's a cool little cat and so are Phantom Knights, so I'm cool with it. Through the event, we got Phantom Knight's sword. Its on-field effect is simple for cards of its genre. Boost 800 attack and protection against destruction by destroying itself. But its hard once per turn graveyard effect is where it's at. By banishing itself, it can special summon a Phantom Knight from your graveyard, but banishes it when it leaves the field. It's free recursion, and Phantom Knights have no issue getting cards like this in the graveyard. We also got Ragged Gloves as a level up reward for Yuto. He can banish himself from the graveyard to send a Phantom Knight card from your deck to your graveyard. A card that is an example of Phantom Knights not having too much of an issue sending their cards to the graveyard. The event, like itself, was garbage because these are the most stale and monotonous kinds of events, but the rewards, they were not too bad. I'll talk about how Phantom Knights is performing currently a little bit later in the video. Could have been worse, and the character is cool. Phantom Knights are a sweet archetype, and that will bleed into the next thing that I missed, and that's the new mini box Phantom of Rebellion. Like everyone, I am all in on Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon, the new frontman keeping Utopia Ray in the card catalog with Mecha Nickel, never to be used again. Anyway, completely generic rank 4 Exceed that can detach 2 materials to target a monster your opponent controls. Its attack is halved, and Dark Rebellion Chad Dragon gains that attack. So, if used on Blue Eyes right, your man is right on Obelisk level at 4,000 attack points. It's a great card, it's an ultra rare in the box, however. In the meantime, the rest of the Phantom Knight kicks are over here, namely Silent Boots and Ancient Cloak. Boots is similar to Ragged Gloves, however, he can special summon himself from the hand if you control another Phantom Knight, hard once per turn, and that's always great. It makes using him as an Exceed material very easy and accessible. However, the main event is coming from the hole. He can banish himself from the graveyard to add any Phantom Knight spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. That is the best kind of searching because you don't lose any advantage. You're not losing cards from your field or your hand, but you're just gaining one in your hand. It's such a good effect, and even though we don't have its best targets in Fogblade and Nightswing, it's great for searching Sword, which extends more plays and graveyard effects with Sword, of course. So good, and that's why the effect is a hard once per turn. He is a super rare in Phantom of Rebellion, and all this pertains to Ancient Cloak as well. His first effect allows him to switch himself from attack to defense mode by targeting a dark monster on the field and giving it 800 attack and defense until the end of your opponent's next turn. It's an okay effect, situationally useful, but definitely not as good as Silent Boots' ability to special summon himself. But then, he can banish himself from the graveyard to search any Phantom Knight's card from the deck besides himself, objectively making him a lot better than Silent Boots in that regard, and has a hard once per turn on that effect by extension. I know a lot of you haven't been on Duel Links all that much, but Phantom Knights are doing well. With the Yuto exclusive skill Phantom Strategy, this skill allows you to discard a Phantom Knight to add Fogblade from outside the duel to the bottom of your deck. Then the restrictions it hit you with: during the turn you activate this skill, you cannot special summon rank 4 above monsters unless they are Dark Warrior type or Dark Dragon type monsters. This skill can be used if you begin the duel with a deck excluding the extra deck that contains no monsters other than Dark Warrior monsters. This skill can only be used once per duel. It's justified. Phantom Knight's Fogblade is a better Fiendish Chain. It does the same thing on a continuous trap that negates its target's effects and also prevents prevents it from attacking, but it also prevents it from being attacked too, so you can't crash over into whatever you target. But when it does leave the field, Fogblade destroys itself, of course, and then when it's in the graveyard, it can banish itself to special summon a Phantom Knight from your graveyard. This card is so good, and you can pair it with Silent Boots immediately by discarding Boots with the skill, and then he can banish himself to search Fogblade that you just put on the bottom of your deck. Right now, Phantom Knight decks are using this skill. They're running 3 copies of Gloves, Cloak, and Boots, and as well as a copy or 2 of Kajmucha Knight, because he can special summon himself when you normal summon a level 3 monster, and all of the Phantom Knights here are. That's an immediate rank 3, and then with a detached Phantom Knight material, that's immediate advantage from their graveyard effects. And speaking of that, we did get their rank 3 in Phantom Knights of Breaksword, who has a Scrap Dragon-like effect. He can detach a material to target a card you control and one your opponent controls and destroy them, which you don't mind having almost all of your cards in the graveyard with this anyway. Then if he's destroyed, you can special summon 2 Phantom Knights from your graveyard with the same level, and their level is increased by 1 when they hit the field. It then restricts you to only summoning dark monsters for the rest of your turn, which if your level 3s are now level 4s, you have plenty of great dark rank 4s to work with, including the rank 4 King Malevolent Sin. Like I said, they're doing really well as of the moment, but that could be attributed to the small pool of players in Duel Links right now, alongside a lot of them playing the new deck. New archetypes will do well as people find ways to use them initially, but eventually they're dropped if they can't consistently compete with the meta. I think a great example of this is Chronomaly. Mini box and free to play makes the deck not too expensive. Cloak is a problem for sure, but don't bite the bullet on this deck quite yet. I've seen more pessimistic people about Phantom Knights and Duel Links than I've seen optimistic, so wait for it to play out, and then I think assessing the archetype is appropriate. I might have been too nice to Burning Abyss, so I don't want to be as absolute with Phantom Knights, even though I do think they're just as cool. And outside of that, the KC Cup is rolling around again, started a little bit ago. In my gem guide, I said certain events give you more gems than others, and none of them give you more than the KC Cup. I've made a video in the past for tips on this kind of thing, but really it just boils down to continue dueling no matter if you lose, and you'll start getting into a rhythm eventually, and just eat your losses when you need to. The best decks in the game will always have the potential to brick. But yeah, man, if you need the gems, play in the KC Cup. Well, and that's about it. Now I feel less guilty about the time that I've missed. As it stands currently, my videos will still be about Duel Links, but I will be streaming Master Duel multiple times a week, including later today, so keep your orange peels eyed.